Happy New Year's, everybody! Sorry, it's taken me a little while, but boy, have I got a story for you. Meet Seamus. Seamus is a tabaxi rogue, and Seamus has a choice. He can either become the leader of the Thieves Guild, but leave his adventuring days behind him, or he can continue adventuring, but he must walk away from the Thieves Guild forever. The look on that player's face, it was awesome. You could tell that she was really intrigued by the idea of this scenario. See, I thought this would be a kind of fun choice for the player because it would give them the option of introducing a new character, but they wouldn't have to. They could keep Seamus. He would just have to walk away from the guild forever. And that's where I left it. So I started the next session and she is genuinely torn at what to do. I ask her, well, what would you like? But also, what would Seamus do? And she looked at me and she said, you know what? Seamus really would lead the Thieves Guild. He really would. And so off Seamus went. But the question now becomes, well, now what? She hadn't exactly decided that she was going to switch her characters until that exact moment. So what character does she play? So the next thing that she decides to do with no character sheet, no idea, no nothing, was just the description of a fancy tabaxi cat with a full white coat. That's it. That's all she had. So they enter this down tavern, and the player playing this new tabaxi cat says, "Hi, my name is Lucius," and proceeds to act in a way to facilitate the meeting of the party and this criminal underlord. So having just done that, the party decided, wouldn't it be cool if Lucius was some sort of spy or something? Maybe that would explain why he was so fancy when the place they were in was so run down. The player also decided that Lucius would probably have a teacup, and he probably sips on it. And of course, because of the cat, the teacup would be full of milk. The party thought this was hilarious. In fact, the original Seamus character and another character didn't exactly get along. So with the same player playing this new Lucius character, the other player decided to go out in town and get a flask of ever-filling milk and offer it as a gift to Lucius. Because after just a few moments of playing, it was sort of unanimously decided that that was Lucius's thing. He always had a teacup, he always sipped out of it, and it always had milk in it. Now, since it's happened 1 or 2 times, and everyone at the table enjoyed it so much, Lucius makes a point of sipping out of a teacup that he carries with him everywhere, occasionally refilling it from his flask of milk. And also, everywhere he goes, he tries to find out different kinds of exotic milks. So what's the best part of this story? Why, you hitting the subscribe button, of course.
Oh, that was solid gold.
Joking aside, the best part of this is the fact that she didn't even have a character sheet. She hadn't even rolled for stats yet. We did 2 to 3 hours of role-playing through all of these scenarios, and she didn't even know that she was going to be playing a new character until she had decided it right at the beginning of the session. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I think there's an underrepresented method for character creation. The not character. Basically, it's okay not to have a backstory and well-defined traits. In fact, it's some of the best characters that I have ever DM'd for have started out this way. Because when you do this type of technique, where you don't start out predefining everything, it allows you to develop the character, their tics and their traits over time, and with the setting and the party included as part of that picture. You're not creating them in a vacuum. Heck, at this point, Lucius still doesn't even have a class yet. Note, the DC20 novice level is perfect for this kind of thing, but we were already level 2, and we had been playing for a while, so I wasn't intending to have the new character start out at a level further down than everyone else. If you go on YouTube right now, you'll find video after video that talks about different methods and techniques for creating well-defined characters, and they are all really good. But sometimes I think the method not talked about is skipping all of that and just starting with the bare minimum. All we had was a tabaxi with white fur. Some of my favorite characters from various groups that I've DM'd for have all been started this way, because I've noticed that when characters get created by themselves in a vacuum, they tend to be well-defined characters in their own personal story, in their own personal setting. Not necessarily good party characters. In fact, new players might not know this, but there's an old school version of character creation where you don't even assign stats, you roll them in order. For example, instead of rolling 6 numbers in the case of D&D or 4 numbers in DC20 and deciding, oh, this highest number, that's going to be my strength, and this lower number, that's going to be my wisdom, per se. Instead, what you would do is roll 4 numbers right in a row, or in the case of D&D, 6 numbers. So let's say you rolled a 13, a 14, an 18, and a 16. Well, that means your strength is 13, your dex is the next number down, etc., etc. By creating characters this way, players would have to then create the character with this skeleton already in place for them. Basically, they've already been put somewhere or had some piece of information delivered to them, and they had to create the rest of the character in session around that. In this case, when Lucius first got started, she knew she wanted to play a tabaxi, and she knew she wanted it to have white fur. That's all she had. But because of where the party was located, this entire backstory of Lucius potentially being a spy who always drinks or shops for delicious milk kind of emerged from the collaboration of everyone at the table. It was the way that she was role-playing Lucius in the moment that helped create him who he was, and is a really phenomenal character, and I kind of can't wait to see more. In fact, we had so much fun with it that when another one of my players was thinking about maybe switching up their class or switching up their character, I made the suggestion that they do the same thing. Don't have too many predefined concepts and just drop them into the game and roleplay from there. I mean, we can always pause and roll stats if we absolutely have to get into combat. Thankfully in DC20, if you use standard array, you can create a character at level 1 in probably about 10 to 20 minutes. It doesn't take super long time. So tell me what you guys think. Have you ever had situations where characters were made on the fly like this? What were some of your best or favorite character creation methods, or characters that you experienced or saw other players play, or that you've DM'd for? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this entertaining, and until next time.